Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is July 9th, 2020. Do you remember a ways back, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I did a video where we talked a lot about the fact that there are a number of Sovsits that are infiltrating our government? Well, we have another scenario here that has popped up. This is with regards to our police officers and the civil service commissions. I'm going to be reading to you this particular article, and we're going to go ahead and watch this video that is located on katv.com, a news channel. Now, I want to mention to you that when I talked to you about this before, it was in reference to Joe Collins. Joe Collins is calling himself a Republican. He's claiming that he is running to replace Maxine Waters in her district in California for Congress. Once again, has an extensive Sovsit background, really extensive. And I have gone into detail about that on my video that I did about Joe just a couple of weeks ago. We continue to find these scenarios where they have people that have actually infiltrated the government who have a very anti-government type of ideology. It's extremely concerning, especially considering our political climate currently. Let me get into this just a little bit for you guys, and then you can watch the video. So this is out of Little Rock. KATV is who reported this. The president of the Little Rock Fraternal Order of Police is calling for the resignation of a Civil Service Commission member who identifies himself as Moorish, a national group with some members who claim to be Sovsits and espouse extreme anti-government ideology. Henry Akins, who has been a part of the Little Rock Civil Service Commission since 2011, has identified as a Moor for the past 2 years. He said in a statement that it's about heritage and faith. Members reportedly believe that African Americans come from the ancient kingdom Moab, now known as Jordan, and are therefore Moorish by nationality and Islamic by faith. Akins said in a statement that being a Moor is not a sovereign sit. But now, this is the funny thing. They'll claim this to begin with, but then when they find out there's some negative connotations to it, now all of a sudden they come up with the, you can't be a citizen and sovereign at the same time, and all this other stuff. Okay, even though they've proclaimed it to begin with. So, just like at the very beginning, when Sovsits actually did name themselves, there was a very specific reason why they named themselves that. If you want more information or proof on that, you can look to Johnny Liberty. He's the one who actually coined the phrase. But nevertheless, Atkins was stopped at a traffic stop in October of 2019. He reportedly told Little Rock police that he was not subject to Arkansas's traffic laws. He was given citations for not having a valid driver's license and operating a vehicle without tags. Akins caught the attention of the police union last year when the Civil Service Commission held appeal hearings for fired officer Charles Starks. The 7-member commission oversees personnel and policy decisions at the police and fire departments. Now, I want you to think about that for a second, guys. This commission, in which he was a part of, oversees personnel and policy decisions at the police and fire departments. Yeah. Mr. Akins asked them if they were aware that there are 2 constitutions. Fraternal Order of Police President Officer Ronnie Morgan said one for the United States of America and one of the United States of America. Now, how many times have we heard this before? Not good optics here. Akins changed his last name to align with his beliefs. He now goes by Ali Bey, a surname Moors commonly use. Morgan said the police union expressed concern about Akins to city leaders months ago, but nothing had been done. He wants Akins off the commission. I think it should call into question his impartiality for not only officers who may have to appear before the commission, but also citizens who can appeal decisions by the police department to the Civil Service Commission, he said. Akins' full statement is below. It has been edited to remove, obviously, racial issues. Not a good thing. Okay, here we go. This statement is in response to Ronnie Morgan with the Little Rock Fraternal Order of Police in regards to his concerns of me proclaiming nationality. My name is Ali Bey. I've lived here in Little Rock, Arkansas for most of my adult life. I've claimed my nationality approximately 2 years ago. I'm of Moorish American descent that form the country Morocco, which is now called America from our ancient mothers and fathers of Pangaea. Yeah, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. It is also known as the North Gate, Northwest Amexem, West Africa, and North America, which Moors are indigenous natives to this land. President Barack Hussein Obama too endorsed the United Nations General Assembly October 2nd, 2007 Declaration on the, quote, rights of indigenous peoples, excuse me, which New Zealand, United States, Canada, and Australia agreed upon. Unbelievable. The instrument is the framework to correcting the wrongs of the indigenous people like that of aforementioned Australia, whom now are making reparations to give the Aboriginals their land back. So, with that being said, or stated rather, being a Moor is not a Sobsit, it is the last legal name we had before we were rounded up by General Grant and tagged, branded, and named Indian and ... Negro, colored, black, and now African American, which is an oxymoron to say the least. They love that word oxymoron, don't they? Moors stand for truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We obey laws of the original constitutions, not from the inorganic act of Congress of 1871, which turned our rights into crimes such as traffic tickets. I was given a ticket back in 2019 for not having a driver's license that I turned in on my own recognizance and not having tags on my truck at the time. I informed the police that an individual does not need a driver's license if they are not driving for commerce, which I wasn't. I stated that he is referring to is not a lawful, but in fact, a city statute. I also presented him with the United States of America passport, which superseded a driver's license, and provided a document with several Supreme Court case laws that supported this. I serviced on the Little Rock Police and Fire Commission since September 27th of 2011 and have rendered fair and equitable rulings since then. With this also being stated, Mr. Ronnie Morgan, or anyone else for that matter, that shouldn't have any concerns about my nationality. This could be very concerning to everyone in these current times, as being extremely basis. I think he means bias, but whatever. Because he is not questioning any of the other commissioners' nationality. Respectfully, Ali Bey. All right, so I believe that what's being questioned is the fact that you have actually misrepresented many different laws just in your short 3-paragraph statement here, Mr. Ali Bey. But let's go ahead and watch the actual video that was put up by KATV. And I'll let you guys make a decision for yourself. This is part of the problem. The information that's being spread by the Sovsit Moors is all cherry-picked and incorrect. We've proven over and over and over again that you cannot drive without a driver's license legally. But yet they continue to push this narrative with their false cherry-picked beliefs. And they continue to fall back on those even when they're proven wrong. So once again, we have an issue not just with those that have the idea that they're going to take down the United States or our government because they don't like them and they are going to forcefully, with weaponry, do it, such as we have with Rise of the Moors. And then we have this individual here, who is actually infiltrating a commission that deals with policy making for the police and fire department. We have Joe Collins, who is running for Congress. We had Marple, who was in Congress. We have many more that are attempting to try to infiltrate our government. Heads up and eyes open, everyone. If you're concerned about this country losing its democracy, these would be part of the reason why we would need to really worry, because these people are actually bringing their false laws and pseudo-theories, pseudo-legal theories, we'll call them, into our government. Here we go.
Well, tonight, the president of the Little Rock Fraternal Order of Police is calling for the resignation of a civil service commissioner, all over his involvement in what some call an extremist group. Channel 7 Shelby Rose joins us now with that story. Shelby?
Chris, FOP President Ronnie Morgan is expected to go before the Little Rock Board of Directors at any moment to express his concern with Civil Service Commissioner Henry Aiken's self-identification as a Moor. Red flags were raised in the minds of the Little Rock Fraternal Order of Police last year when Civil Service Commissioner Henry Aikens started asking questions during day 2 of Charles Starks' hearing.
Mr. Aikens asked them if they were aware that there were 2 constitutions, one for the United States of America and one of the United States of America.
That thought process is associated with Moors. The Southern Poverty Law Center considers it an extremist group of sovereign citizens. Aikens petitioned for a name change last year and now goes by Ali Bey outside of commission business, a surname Moors use. His affiliation is also shown in this traffic report from last October. In it, Aikens states that Arkansas traffic laws don't apply to him.
I think it should call into question his impartiality for not only officers who may have to appear before the commission, but also citizens who can appeal decisions by the police department to the Civil Service Commission.
Morgan says he brought this issue to the attention of multiple city leaders months ago and is now going public because nothing has been done. He says he wants Aikens to resign. In defense of his traffic violations, Aikens says in a statement, "I informed the police that an individual does not need a driver's license if they are not driving for commerce, which I wasn't. I stated what he is referring to is not a law or lawful, but in fact a city statute." And during a phone conversation, Aikens did disclose that there may be other civil service commissioners who also identify as Moors, but he did not name any names. Chris?
Okay, Shelby Rose for us tonight. Shelby, thanks. You can read Aikens' statement defending his beliefs.
So there's possibly even more on this commission. The sad part about this is that if you'll notice from the statement that was written by Mr. Aikens, that he actually is using, as an opportunist would, the political climate having to do with civil unrest right now as almost a threat to the other person. Like, I don't really think you want to do this now. I don't really think you want to ask me to resign at this stage of where America is right now. That's the gist I got from it. So, prepare yourself to see more of this. and prepare yourself to fight it should you find it in your city, county, or state. And I say that because this was part of the plan all along. We are definitely under attack from the groups that we consider to be sovcits. They want to get in, change policy. And one of the things that they really would like to do is actually abolish the police, which, by the way, is totally different than defunding them. We'll get into that in another video, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.